won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome in to Pregaming here on Sports Money. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. The best place to stop to get all that last minute line movement information, injury updates, weather analysis, trends, angles, whatever the case may be. We put it all together here after marinating on the card all day. And we try to put all these pieces together to come up with a winning card this evening. Thanks for being patient with me. Lots of things going on. Always lots of things going on. Doesn't it seem like that? Trying to get this Twitch thing connected. Trying the Twitch side of things over here. And it's good stuff, you guys. Appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. Look, we came off another profitable evening. We've got a huge card. We've got a live stream. And I'm ready to go. We've got First Strike out there. First Strike is ready to go for you guys to consume. It's like 10 minutes. MMA Jeff and I gave you like 4 or 5 different plays as we were kind of talking through the card a little bit out there. But you don't want to miss it. So go check it out. You'll have some time before the NFL show starts. We start at 7:45. I can see an eyelash in my eye. And it's bothering me. But we'll start at 7:45. So you got time. Give it a click. Check it out. Great views right off the hop, which is really exciting to see. You'll see I've freshened up things around here. If you don't mind, I do. Take pride in what we do. So I hope you enjoy some of these new visual depictions. We do have all social spaces going. So good stuff. Good things to check out. Disappointed with Instagram. Instagram, I'm disappointed in you. Oh, fuck. I'm poking over there for a couple of weeks. Wasted my time is what I'm doing. We don't have time to waste. We got plays to make. We've got an NHL parlay. It's a 3-legger tonight. We've got the... Oh, shit. We don't have the oh, shit. Hang on. That's yesterday's card. That is yesterday's card. Whoops. Let's see. Let's get that out of there. I'm looking at it going, that doesn't look right. That looks right. Started off with an NHL parlay. We've got Boston and Ottawa. We've got the Capitals and the Florida Panthers. You know what day it is. Islanders and Vegas. This trend's going to blow your mind. It's like, I looked at it and I was like, how often can this happen? But when it happens, it pays. And I can't wait to share that one with you guys. And literally, I had to go look. I was like, really? Really? Like, that's just an odd situation, but has a huge angle behind it. So we're going to cash on that fucker tonight. Then we get into the college basketball arena. We've got a game that pops off at 7 p.m. It's a big one. Maybe you heard. Number 2, Purdue is rolling off to a angry number 8, Alabama. That's got to be the game of the night because they have a shit NBA schedule tonight. Then we're going to talk about Loyola and Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. Bum, 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 bum. I'm fired up, man. This is going to be a great night tonight. Then we're going to roll in, and we got one more, I guess, FIU and LSU. How could I forget the FIU-LSU battle, of course, in the swamp? We got a college football game, so we have some action. It's only right that we get a play out there. I like this angle here. Both teams coming in off a bye. What do you think? Does that favor the offense or the defense? I'll talk to you guys about the way I see that game going down. And I've got 2 plays in the NBA here. I put 2 of them over on Winnable. I've got a player prop for you in that first game with Toronto. I think it's a great fit. We'll talk about Mr. Universal. Universal fit in the lineup is this guy. And you know him, but that's not the play. We're just going to talk about him and how it complements the play. And we'll talk about the Hawks and the Jazz game before we go into Thursday night football. In an interesting spot. I'll say that. This game, I don't think it's going to be what everybody thinks it is. I'm just going to say that. I mean, I got a mind-blowing stat This weird day of stats today. By the way, I think I got to play in every hockey game. So if you're looking to play some hockey tonight, definitely shoot on over to Winnable. Because I think I made 2 waves over there, a wave over here, and then I put a parlay together. You'll see it on the bottom of the screen. Mikey Money's parlay of the night's going to be the Kings, the Avs, and the Jets. It's a 3-legger, and it's going to be plus 271. So get that in there. We'll get that as we kick this show off. Yeah, that's what I was looking for there. Bear with me. I miscalculated today. Miscalculated the amount of time. You know, creature of habit. I'm sure we're all creatures of habit, aren't we? I was looking at, business as usual. Get in there, know exactly how long it takes me to fire up graphics and all this other stuff. But then I realized it's a new graphics card. So I got to make some new adjustments. Hopefully you can see it okay. Hopefully it's okay. I think it looks okay. But I see it through StreamYard, so it's a little smaller for me. But that being said, it's going to be a fun weekend, you guys. I told you last night we were turning the corner to my favorite time of the week, and that is getting towards that weekend. So we got 2 football games tonight. We got a bunch of basketball. We got a bunch of hockey. Friday, look, we're going to give you the 9 a.m. morning steam. We're going to give you the 6 p.m. pregame. And then it's time to cap because we've got college basketball, college football, NHL, NBA, and of course the UFC for Saturday. UFC 322 looks like a great card. Some great ways to get paid. And then Sunday, the morning steam pops off at 9 a.m. The 11 a.m. betting blitz will take place for you here at Sports Money. We'll give you the entire NFL card for Sunday. Break down every game, talk some player props, sides, angles, totals, whatever. For every single game, we do it in less than an hour. Sharky and myself, my boy, the Shark. Getting that Shark Tank, motherfuckers. And then we'll go live Sunday night for some Sunday night football. Maybe you know. If you don't, I'll tell you. Lions and the Eagles will face off for NFC supremacy. Jalen Hurts, Eagles, Nick Sirianni, 11-0. Jalen Hurts is 11-0 against the NFC North. So, you don't even need to don't have to listen to that game. I'll tell you who I'm on. And I don't care. Now, the following week concerns me because the week after you play the Lions, you take the smashing. You get smashed right in the old buttocks. But if you didn't know, you guys, we are live on Instagram. We are live on Twitter. We are live on Twitch. You can see my content over at Winnable. So if you haven't gone over, take a second if you could and subscribe to those channels. Just give them a follow. That's all I ask. Give them a follow. I guess I ask a lot because I also need you guys to smash the thumbs up button here. We'll get to that business in just a second. But I did want to say we gained about 2 units last night in profit. 6 and some change the day before. And we fired off. Let's see. UMass. They are ass. But they did their part for that first half under. The problem was NIU. That was just, all right, I might be mind fucked on NIU. I might not be able to help it. But Toledo came through for us, 24-3. That's smashed and cashed. So we went 1-1 in college football. The NHL nailed that Edmonton under game. Told you Edmonton. Gave Edmonton over on Winnable. I said, no fucking way. We're getting the Oilers at a discount, man. We're getting the Oilers at a discount. And we got the under 6 here. It was a 2-1 final. Shout out to Rick Tocchet and company because they have made that Eagles team a defensive juggernaut. It's a word I haven't used in a minute, especially in talking about my Philadelphia Flyers. We lost the parlay, though. Tampa Bay lost. What a game. What a game. In fact, some of that game last night made me think a little bit about a couple of the games today. Specifically, when you saw them range 4-3 first period, man, them Rangers were firing. But Utah busted up the Sabres. What are you going to do? Sabres suck. They suck again. Let's see what else. College hoops. We got the first half in South Dakota. Easy casher for us there. 32-44. They covered by 12. We did not get Oregon State -3. They won by 2. Bastards. Won by 2. So, then we cashed the SIU. The Salukis. 86-81 on an 11.5. I told you. Wrong team favored. Them boys were up for a lot of that game. And despite 11.5 points, I like the wrong team favored segment. Plus 2.5. Manhattan, I told you that was the wrong team favorite. I also discounted it and said it's only 2.5 points, so it's not like I'm really putting my neck on the line. But they won outright, 79-75. So I don't know. If you guys like the wrong team favorite segment, you tell me. I look for them. I look for the dogs to play. I got one today, I think. I don't know if I'm putting my neck on the line. Yeah, I think I am putting I'm not putting my neck on the line. I'm putting my balls out there is what I'm doing with this one. Okay. What else? The NBA. All right, we lost the under. Fucking A. Cleveland sits everybody. They still thump Miami. Goes to overtime, so the under 239.5 does not cash for us. Then be the breaks. The Hawks smoke the Kings. I told you the Kings suck. -3.5, 133-100. And I looked at the card today and I said, is Atlanta still on the road? Really? Is that what's going on here? I'm fired up, man. I can't wait to go through the card with you guys tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get ready, get set, because here we go. It is time. If you guys haven't done so already, the way you can support the show, lots of different ways. We love you guys here. We're viewer supported. I'm proud of where we've gotten to through due diligence, hard work, and more importantly, winning bets, right? Collectively, this is a big deal up in these parts here. It's not so much what the graphics look like. It's can you deliver goods? Can you bring the winners? We've been doing it for over 2 years. And in fact, over here at Sports Money, Pregaming, the flagship of the Sports Money Network here. Look, live picks, last minute angles, best bets galore. But as I was saying, you can go over to Winnable. You see Mikey Money. It's $1 a day. You can get my best bets. I told you some of the plays I release early. The text alerts are second to none. You get the notification as soon as the plays drop. You never miss a beat. And I'm a high volume guy. So, sometimes it's a little uncomfortable for people to sit there and go, wow, look at all those plays you have out there. But I've also showed you, it's not the size of the unit. It's where you put your unit that counts the most in life. I think that's just good life advice. So in any event, take a sec to look at Winnable if you haven't already. Free plays, more free plays today. All you got to do is go over there, check it out, click the link, and then subscribe to the free plays. Check it out if you like the free plays, you like the way it's delivered. Lots of plays out there throughout the day and throughout the weekend. Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Winnable. Get your plays in the chat, you guys. This is my favorite part of the show. I love to shout out the plays you guys are on here. Some of us go head to head, and it happens. We're not going to all agree on every play all the time, but we are a community. We do want to support each other. If you disagree with the play, that's on you. I wouldn't get in front of this runner that we're on right now, but it's okay. I still want to see what you guys are on, so put them in the chat. Let's go. It's go time. In fact, like I said, I'm fired up, man. I'm going to play a fucking clip here. Why not?
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
I'm told you, I'm jacked up, man. I'm looking forward to this evening. Put them in the chat, you guys. Let's see what you guys are on out there. We're trying to introduce new segments to this component as well. You'll see our guy, Ramon. I've been trying to put the poll out there for Ramon every day. See what you guys can do with those polls on the morning steam. But I'm still, nothing beats seeing the plays you guys are invested in here as we get rolling. Shout out to Hammer. Shout out to Joe W. Shout out to Peter Gracia. Says happy Thursday, almost Friday. There's Joe Dog. Just turned a business that was nothing into something. Yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Joe Dog. My guy, Big Scott 510's here. Says, what's good, pimp? Let's get paid tonight. Seton Hall under 136.5. He's got Cornell -4.5. And he likes the Sharks on the money line for our man, Big Scott 510. Shout out to you, Big Scott. Thank you for dropping by, and thank you for sharing. David Wallace is here. Trevor Davis likes Colorado on the over tonight. I have a hard time not believing that Colorado thumps the absolute piss out of the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Joe T's in the house. Over. Ducks Red Wings first period over 1.5. Oilers Blue Jackets, first period over 1.5. And there's David. He says, pimp slap these bookie bastards. Let's go. Action Jackson's here. He says, offense or maybe the defense. Shout out to Stop Geoengineering, Gooey McDougal. Sign me up to tail Mike's Purdue Bama Fire pick. Mike, you have to trademark that unit size quote. I want to have some fun tonight, man. I'm excited. I haven't even started drinking yet. I'm already giddy, like a little schoolgirl, huh? Jerry Davis says, damn, Mike, St. Joe's was ass. You win, but Manhattan plus 140. Moneyline plus 3.5 and plus 4.5 more than made up for it. Yeah, I was on Manhattan as well. Joe Dog says Jets plus 14 plus 150. Joe Dog, I don't disagree, man. I almost wonder if that's the wrong team favorite. I know that sounds fucking absolutely ludicrous. I know. I get it. Mr. Wesker says, we like winners. We don't like losers. Derek B's in the house. Says he jumped on Cornell live. Nunya says, what's up? Just got home from the farm in time to take a shot. Pop pizza in the oven and slip in a ticket. Let's go. Shout out to you, Nunya. Jerry Davis likes Bama minus 3.5 and double result with Wichita minus 4.5 for him. Robert McCormick's got Elkhorn versus Howard on the under 154.5. And Dana Dub says, sup, guys. He likes the Bama. Bama go to Bama minus 2.5. Joe Dog says, I was wrong. Minus New England minus 14. I mean, it's a lot of points. Chosen one's on Bama minus 2.5 as well. All right, you guys see the parlay. You see what's out there. You see what I'm looking to get involved with here. We're going to fire because I got to be done by 7. I got a quick thing I got to do before we go live at 7:45. And part of it feels like popping my shoulder back into place. I'm not sure. Oh, just, it's been one of those days, you know? Sharp perspective betting coming in on the LA Kings. Colorado Avalanche in a 25-0 money line position, and the Winnipeg Jets in a favorable spot there to finish off the card. Is how I like the parlay of the day. Yes, they're big favorites. Yes, it's pretty fucking square. No, we don't need regulations or minus ones. We just need them boys to win. That's all. Just go win. And you might be sitting there saying, dude, you were at big favorites. Listen, I got big dogs, and they're barking all over the card tonight. So, yeah, these 3 I happen to pick out as favorites. Sue me. Don't sue me, but, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. It's freaking me out there on the side with these little slogans or the little buzzer. It's like the new graphics got in my head here as I was rolling. Nasty Nate says 28-10. Pats win. Pats first quarter over 7.5 for Nasty Nate. Nunny says, where you want to justify. All right, you guys, let's get going. Let's get into my card for the evening here as well. We've taken enough time through the intro and getting your plays out there. Continue to put them out. Look at that. We got check mark showing where we've completed, where we're at next. We got next. Shout out to my guy, Tease. He's blessing our action tonight. The Boston Bruins and the Ottawa Senators will take a battle again. It feels like these teams play every fucking week. I say that in baseball in some spots. Man, did I feel like that with these boys? Maybe it's just me. I watch hockey pretty freaking closely. This total's taken some steam. Gone from 5.5 to 6s and even 6.5s. And even as I say that, it's still taking more action. I would reverse steam this thing. 90% of the bets and 91% of the cash have moved at a full point to 6.5. I see, said the blind man to the deaf piano player. Think about that. So, anyhow, Senators, 2-3 in their last 5. They just came off a loss to Dallas. They did beat Utah before that. They did beat Philadelphia on there. They had a nice little road trip going before that as well. But they just lost to Boston 3-2. There was an under. And then the Boston Bruins right now have the best win streak going in the NHL. Some would say, well, why is this line the way it is then? I wouldn't disagree. I thought about it twice, but it's the same thing I said with the Edmonton Oilers. If you said last night, well, as this Oilers line so low, you lost. And I looked at it as we're getting a discount. Then I drilled in. Deep dive. Jonas Corpusalo. Huh? Well, they lost Allmark in the offseason, so Corpusalo had to be the guy. Is he the guy? He's 4-3. He's got a 3.24 goals against average. Levi Miralainen. will be on the other side of things. He's 2-1, but he's got a 3.69 goals against average, and he's 87.1 save percentage. So we have a goaltending advantage between backups on the Bruins side of things. And because they've got that best win streak going on this season right now, is it fishy? Yeah, it is. But Korpisalo just played the Senators, and he shut them down. So he's comfortable with this team. He knows where the snipers are. He's already put the time in to evaluate the players to watch and the angles to manage. And I think he's going out there with 7 games under his belt. Not only do we have the advantage, but we got a guy that's got more battle test in him. Ottawa's lost, as I said, 3 of its last 5 games. They're slumping. They're slouching. And I'll take a shot here with a plus money 135 Boston Bruins. I'm not about the what's going on. I mean, I do think about that line sometimes. What happened? What happened, Dania? You'll have to hit me up. I don't know. NBA got some dogs tonight. There's only 3 teams playing, David. I did think, though, in all fairness, I did think every dog has a shot to win in the NBA tonight. So you're right. You got some dogs. I don't know why that made me laugh. I'm just in a good mood. I just want to have some fun. Ain't nothing going to bring me down. Let's go, baby. Capitals, Florida Panthers. It's Thursday. You know the deal. How about these 2 teams? Not a misprint. They're both 8-7-1. Whoa, that's kind of mind-blowing when I looked at that. I don't know. It felt to me, why it blew my mind is because it felt like Washington was playing really well and Florida's playing really bad. And then you smash the 2 together and you look at it and you're like, whoa. Now, what concerns me a little bit is the Florida Panthers have opted not to go to Bobrovsky, SpongeBob, stupidest name in the game, but they're going to Danny Tarasov. Who? Well, he's 0-3-1. I mean, he's young, I guess. That's the thing he's got going for him. He's kind of, remember I talked to you guys about when they draft NHL goaltenders? You know, they'll draft them around like 18, 19 years old, but they won't see time in the NHL till they're like 25, 26. And this dude's 26. So they don't use him a ton, and when they do, he just loses. It's almost like they're phoning in. Capitals just busted up the Hurricanes. We were on that game the other night, 4-1. They're going to their guy, Logan Thompson. And Logan Thompson's playing like the number 1. Best goalie in the league right now? Maybe. 1.56 goals against average and a 93.4% save percentage. Can you argue that? Florida team, fewest goals scored in the Eastern Conference. That's kind of amazing. That's kind of why I was goes back to what I said about, wow, I can't believe these 2 teams have the same record. As a matter of fact, I got to check again. I got to look again just to make sure, because it's that amazing to me. Sometimes it's like, all right, I don't want to be sitting here spewing the wrong information. No, they're both 8-7-1. Thing is, Florida's 5-1-1 at home. So I like the Capitals as the play on the side, but it's Thursday. I believe it's 42. Matter of fact, I was going to look up the Florida Panthers trend for you guys. I wrote it down in a note when I was handling some business earlier. Bear with me. We started it last year. The year before we had the Vegas Golden Knights when the San Jose Sharks were playing. You played the Sharks, or I'm sorry, you played the Vegas Golden Knights. That was one of those trends where everyone's like, why? Huh? What are you doing? 47-25 are the Florida Panthers unders on a Thursday night. So we'll take a shot with this at under 5.5 at plus 100. I like a 6. It's a little juicy at minus 120. But seeing that 4-1 game against the Carolina Hurricanes when everybody and their brother was taking the Carolina Hurricanes, we said, not so fast. We're going to jump in there and go contrarian. Contrarian play. How's things doing over at Twitch? How's things doing on the Twitch side of things? Hey, we got a new follower. First on race day says, who is this scumbag? Hey. Problem is Twitch doesn't integrate its communication platform to YouTube. So I just want to check in over there and see how everyone's doing. Trying to grow, trying to put the time and effort in to make this thing happen so we can get more winning cappers involved in our spectrum here. Give us more winning bets. Give us more options to choose from on the card, right? Some days we have a plethora of games. Some days we have fewer than others. And so, we want to make sure that we get a variety. So I'm going to take the under in this game with the under 5.5 as a Thursday night special. We'll roll on to the Islanders in Vegas. This is the one. This is the one. It's not the one like the UFC one. Settle down. If you're not familiar with the UFC one, it's the one where this is contrarian, right? Everybody says this guy is going to knock the dude out in the first round. And then I come through there and I play him on a decision at plus 900. And everyone's pissed because he didn't win the first round. And I'm just laughing as I'm counting my money. Doesn't happen very often, this trend here with the New York Islanders. But now let's go back to it here. Let's take a look for a minute. This is the sixth. This is important. This is the sixth straight home game for the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, by the way, with that, as it relates to this game and that game, remember there was a thing back in the day called the Vegas flu. Remember that? 2 years ago or whatever? It was like 3 years ago. When the team just got out of Vegas, you faded them. And that also happens to be the Florida Panthers tonight. So do with that information what you will. Another reason why I like Washington. Looking at this game, looking at how this thing breaks down, guess what? We got a $1.60 favorite on the Islanders side of things. We got tons of money. 86% of the bets, 87%. I don't usually talk about it, I know. And I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. But we have a shit ton of money coming in on the Golden Knights right now. And the line's going down. In other words, they're making it more attractive to bet the Golden Knights. Ilya Sorokin. Why do you know that name? Because he's the number one for the Islanders. Akira Schmid. Somehow, this guy's 6-1-1. That kind of was amazing, drilling down on it. But he's going in for an injured Aiden Hill. 25 years old. Keep that in mind as we talk about the age brackets here. This is a young dude. He's got a 2.51 goals against average, but he's 6-1-1. Problem is the Knights have lost 6 of their last 8 games. And they're at home. And the Islanders, 2-game winning streak. Enter. And, as far as Sorokin's concerned, he started the season off like shit, and he's been playing great since. His last 4 games, he's 3-0-1. So think about this. He's got a 2.9 goals against average. His last 4 games, he's got a 1.5. Think about how bad he started. The Islanders just started slow and cold. Oh, this fucking shoulder. Speaking of low and cold. So the spot that kind of blew my mind here, 6-1. It doesn't happen that often. It's one of them spots. When you got a losing team at home, they've lost at least 2 games. They've played 5 straight home games. Ergo, the 6th game now. Remember I said this is important, the 6th game? They've lost 2. They're on their 6th home game. And they're playing an NHL underdog. Doesn't happen very often, but the dog wins. The dog's 6-1. And we're plus 160. So I'm taking a shot. I'm firing. Better goaltender, team on a winning streak. Teams at 6 games at home. You know what Vegas needs is a change of fucking scenery. Can you imagine? I mean, look, these guys go on the road. They play cards. They're sitting around drinking all night with their buddies, hanging out, playing grab ass with the fucking hotel waitresses. You know the deal. Just imagine being a pro athlete with a couple $100 million, right? Now you're at home. Same shit going on every day. Honey, take out the garbage. Honey, go do this for me. Honey, go. The honey-do list piles up. You're ready for a fucking roadie. Can't wait to get the hell out of town. So, change of scenery for the Vegas. I'll probably play them on their first road game, which I think is next, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. It's kind of one of those situational spots where you just kind of have to look at it and anticipate. You know what it's like. Yeah, they're going to St. Louis next. Of course, they're going to thump on St. Louis. barring any significant injuries or anything of that nature. So, especially if they lose tonight. If they lose tonight and we cash this Islanders plus 160, Saturday, it'll be Saturday that we'll be firing on the St. Louis Blues or on the Vegas Golden Knights against the St. Louis Blues. So there you go. Gooey McDuke says, time to really get focused. There's tons of opportunity on the board. There's Markel. What up, Markel? Money Markel. In the building. All right, let's go. Let's keep her moving. Let's talk about this Bama game really quick here. If you don't know, Bama's head coach is a fucking magician. He took that University of Buffalo team, trotted them all the way to the Final Eight or to the Elite Eight. A team that has no business even playing basketball. Gets himself to Bama. He's been spouting off that they're disrespected. He said it again the other day. Continue to disrespect us. They're number 8 ranked. He feels disrespected. And they got a Purdue team coming in. You know, Purdue, when they had Edie and company, everyone was like, oh, this team's great. They're big. Well, they lost that size, and they lost a lot of that experience, Purdue. So they come into this game, they're sitting at 2-0. Bama feels disrespected. I laugh when I say that because you're fucking number 8, dude. And it's not like you're not a, you know, I don't know. It just seems funny to say you feel disrespected. But okay, whatever you got to do to get your players fired up. This line opened at -1.5. It's got 3s and 3.5s out there in the marketplace. 54% of the bets and 55% of the cash have hit on the Alabama side of things. Total's not moving. 172.5 stalled, frozen line. In fact, it's just a frozen line. 54% of the bets and 52% of the cash. Is this a game where we see both teams get 100 points? I originally thought the over City in this game. How does this game not go over the number? You know, you're sitting here with team totals in the 80s, 88.5 for Bama, 84.5. I mean, shit. Then I started thinking about it. And with the loss of experience, now, okay, everybody remembers Purdue with the big boys. And now they see 2-0 and they're like, well, they're number 2 and they're 2-0. Yeah, but they played Evansville and Oakland. Who'd you play? Nobody. Now, on the other side of things, you know, Alabama fired off in North Dakota. But St. John's, man. If you don't remember that St. John's game, that was an eye-opener. That was a fun game. You know, what's Bama do? Bama does Bama things. They were 4.5-point dogs. They go into Madison Square Garden with the bright lights, and they busted them boys up, smacked them in the mouth with an open hand. Angry is this Bama team. And then on top of it, sprinkle in a little trendage. And how can you not fire away on Bama? Purdue's 0-6-2, road dog of more than 2.5 points versus a team that scored more than 77 their last game and a total over 137. Purdue's 0-8 in those games straight up. And they're losing on average 11.6 points a game in those spots. So I'll take Alabama. I'll take the team that's got the chip. I don't know what the chip's doing there or how it got there. Well, I know how it got there. The coach put it there. But you don't think them boys are going to come into town fired up, ready to attack, ready to charge? And I think they will. So I'm going to fire away here on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, baby. And we'll continue this march down the field. No football pun intended, to Loyola, Wichita State. 78% of the bets, 79% of the cash have come in on the Wichita State side of things. Total's gone from 151.5 to 153.5, even seeing some 154s with 61% of the bets and 60% of the cash on the over in this game. And this one came through for me. This was really just, for me, a play on the sharp perspective betting action. I saw it coming in. I see the line correlated in the movement side of things here. They just you put up 100 points, you get my attention. 105-62 against Prairie View. And Loyola, this is their first road trip. They're struggling off the hop. The only team they beat was Cleveland, and they were 18-point favorites against that Cleveland team. They only won by 3. And they've played nothing but Middle Scumbag University in North Texas since then. So Now, granted, North Texas just went into Corvallis and covered the spread. They didn't win, but they covered the spread. And so you got a team that's big favorites, and then the books immediately overreacted. 18 and 21.5. They shrink them down to 1.5. They still don't cover in that Loyola side of things here. So books don't know what number to put out there. And on the flip side of things, this Wichita State team's firing on all cylinders. Early, I know it's early in the season. I say that tongue in cheek here, but it's enough for me to say, okay, I'll ride with them Sharps. I'll take the -5. You can only get 5.5, so be it. This is, again, we talked earlier this week about the benefit of having multiple books so that you can shop. I'll say it again for the sake of saying it. There's no side hustle. There's no scamming. This is consistently grinding every single day. Some days we'll lose a unit. Some days we'll win a unit. Some days we'll win 6 units like we did the other day. But we're not going to go out there when they pay us an error and cash it out. No, that's fucking scumbag shit. And we're not scumbags. Well, we are, but different kind of scumbags, right? We're not going to go out there and call our buddies and say, oh, this line's off by 50 cents, so let's go hammer it. No, they're going to fix it. I remember somebody called me up and was like, oh, the UFC line's off by, it's plus 1,500 everywhere, except for this book's got it at plus 2,500. Let's go hit it. Well, guess what? It cashed, but they didn't pay. Right of refusal. They had an error in the line. So I had no upside there. The only thing I had was my money being held on to forever. That's scam shit. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to grind and we're trying to build. So in any event, I digress. I'm not sure how we got there, but we did. And Wichita State is the spot. So we're going to look at this Florida International LSU. I feel like they should permanently change the L in LSU to Livy for Livy Dunn. You guys agree with me or not? First on race day. What's up? First on race days is checking in. This is Bobby Mack. What up, first on race days? There's Keith. Each and every stride's checking in. Mr. Weskers, you know what I'm talking about. The honey-do list. Jerry Davis is Purdue getting TKR back tonight. I usually fade, but yeah, of course. Bama revenge spot. Lost the last 2 to Purdue on neutral site. Yep, there you go. I hesitated on Wichita because the line should be 6.5 or 7. Says you, right? I don't know. Nasty Nate. All right. Florida International versus Livy Dunn State. In this game. Whoops. Gotta give you the play before we move on to the next one, right? I gotta look at the under. 21.5 is a lofty number, but it's not moving, which is kind of concerning. 63% of the bets and 75% of the cash are on the LSU side of things. And the totals move 4 points now. It opened at 154.5. It's moved 4 points with 66% of the bets and 66% of the cash on this spot here. 1-1 are the Florida International Panthers. 2-0 on the LSU side of things here. LSU just took down New Orleans. They're just beating. They're slump busting. They didn't score 100. They do have back-to-back 90s, though. 96 and 93. So, do they do the same thing against this FIU team? I don't know. FIU just let Nebraska put 96 on them. My challenge for this team here is, can you get to 60? LSU at home against non-ranked opponents. Their defense steps up. They shut teams down. It's tough to play in that swamp. They've gone under 10 straight times at home against non-rankers. Totals 156 or fewer. We're getting 158.5 now in our back pocket. It's good enough for me. I'll take a lower scoring game. Just don't get to 100, LSU. And Jesus, play some defense, FIU. Do us a solid in this fucking game because I like that under. That's the way we're going to roll in the FIU spot. The truth says Sabres plus 2.5 at minus 245. No, I would play the Colorado Avalanche minus 2.5. Who is Sabres starting goal? I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Jeff talked the other day about the Carolina Hurricanes. He said, lay 2.5 against the Sabres with the Hurricanes. And I think it cashed. Sabres are in bad shape right now. They're just not a good team. At all. In every facet of the game. Goaltending's broken. They don't even have a goal. They don't even have a number 2 goaltender. They got a bunch of number 3s. Now they do have Jukka-Pekka Luukkonen coming back. They're on the second leg of a back-to-back. Now, the thing about this, too, this is what's important to know about. You got Colorado in that 25-0 spot. I don't want to go all the way back to this one here, but they're starting Mackenzie Blackwood. You got Jukka-Pekka coming back. First start since, second or third game of the season? They just played Utah. And they're in Colorado. Why is that important? Because both those spots are at elevation. There's Jeff M. There's that scumbag. He says Avs -2.5. Why not 3.5? Why not 4.5? How high should we go? Do we have a second to look at the ladder and see where the books are showing concern? Let's take a second. Sure we do. We've got all the time we need. I gotta be done by 7 though. Let's see. -1.5. These are DraftKings numbers, so your books may differ. Let's take a look. -1.5 is -148. -2.5 is +110. So we got about, what does that say, a 60 cent movement on the 2.5. Oops. And then 3.5 goes to +250. I mean, I would take a shot at the -3.5. Books won't let me go past 3.5 on DraftKings. Because see, they've gotten fucked by me before on this. Now watch it be the spot where they end up just fucking. Nasty Nate's calling Jeff out. He says, Jeff needs a gifted membership. Smokes his wife, Jeff not green. Jeff says, bats are going to smash. All right, you guys, let's go. Let's keep her moving. Let's go to this college football game. Let's talk a little college foosball. Looks like Mama was wrong again. Single game. It's an island game. Always tricky. Because anything can happen. You never really know what you're going to get with these games, right? Troy getting some action. They're getting some late love here. Went as high as 11. A little juicy on the 11, but it's down to 10s. So that U-shaped movement generally designates a side, right? Both these teams are 6-3. Both these teams are coming in off a bye. I thought that was kind of fascinating. You don't see that very often. 54% of the bets and 74% of the cash are on Troy, and the late sharp buying is coming in on Troy. Do with that information what you will. Is the wrong team favored? No, I don't think so. But 52.5 has moved to 53.5 with 60% of the bets and 73% of the cash. Look, it's the Sun Belt. It's the Fun Belt. Anything can happen in the Sun Belt, Fun Belt. But we have this time off. So is it going to be a rest or a rust situation that comes out there as the beneficial side of things here? Obviously, ODU at home, you definitely got to respect that. They're a pretty powerhouse team in front of their home crowd, as far as the Sun Belt's concerned anyways. And they put up 31 against the Warhawks. ULM Warhawks. The Warhawks. I'll tell you guys this right now. If I ever give you the ULM Warhawks, you better play them, because I never take the Warhawks. On the flip side of things here, you know, Troy's been sitting at home for the better part of a month. So then they get their bye. Then they come out here and they're going on the road to ODU. What do we know about these two teams? Well, we know that Troy struggled in that last game. They only scored 10 points and had 187 yards of offense. Gilcrease's worst game of the season, their quarterback. Shittiest game he's had. He's a junior. He's completing 65.5% of his passes. He's got 14 touchdowns in 6 games. He's got an 8-3 touchdown to interception ratio. Offensively speaking, they're scoring 31 points in the 4 previous games, at least 31 points. They're averaging 32.2 in the conference. That's a team that can fire offensively. The Monarchs allow 29 points a game. That's 88th in college football. So they're a little bit less than bottom half of the league, right? A little bit lower than bottom half. Well, I guess they're the upper bottom half, if that makes sense. Middle upper. 63 and 48 points allowed. James Madison, and Marshall. So when they get scored on, they can get dunked. That's why I was teasing, is it the wrong team favored? It's just a lot of points for a team that's offensive or defensively not very good. And so they do score a shitload of points too, though. 31.9 points a game, 30.6 in conference. Those are things that you have to respect. And look, Troy, they like to they would rather sell the quarterback run than give up yards to the running back, I guess is the best way to describe it. And why is that important? Because they have a dual threat quarterback, Colton Joseph, for the Old Dominion Monarchs. I put it all together. I looked at it. I said, you know what? Probably this quarterback on the ODU side of things runs all over the yard. Going to keep the play. He's going to look like a young Jalen Hurts out there. But I'm going to take the over. I like the 50. I got a 53. If you can only get 53.5, that's fine. I'm good with it. I think we see a lot of points. I think that the offense prevails here. I think the defense kind of comes in here on a snoozer. I think not so much a snoozer. It's just that you can only play to the capability of what you have. Let's see. Nate likes a Pats and Troy teaser. ODU needs impressive win. I grabbed ODU, score first and win, -110. Saw that somewhere today. That sounds good. Action Jackson says, stat green like Boston. Shout out to Nasty Nate. AJ says, is the Wellmaker fight called off? One of the books refunded my bet on that fight. Yeah. That was one of those unusual betting activity fights, I think. Bunch of people kind of came in there in the last day or so taking, what's his name? Cadson? Was it Cadson? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? And it was because they saw some unusual betting activity. Scammers, scumbags, you know. All right, you guys. I didn't highlight this one, huh? Shit. Well, look it's a pain in the ass to put those check marks and highlight. It's just like, it's a new process. I'll get used to it. Bear with me. We're going to talk about some NBA really quick here. First play I got for you guys, I'll give you a player prop in the NBA. This one's come down a little bit, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to take in Brandon Ingram. 58% of the bets and 67% of the cash have come in on the Cavaliers. That line ain't moving. We saw Cavaliers. Surprising as it is, I guess it makes sense. They lost to Miami game 1. Then they're 7.5 point favorites against Miami, and they lose outright by 2. They're in the same place, no travel in between. They're 4.5 point dogs, and they go out and they win by 14. The NBA is more crooked than the UFC, I think. And the Raptors continue. Well, they had a 3-game roader out there. You know, they're on a winning streak. They're tearing it up. They kind of got that hot city aspect going for them. And the reason I went to Brandon Ingram of these players is because, you know, I talked about the universal fit. That universal fit is Scotty Barnes, right? Last year, he was part of the stable that we had out there. He was a rebound guy. He was a 3-point guy. He was an assist guy. This year, he's evolved into more of the assist guy, and the guy he's feeding happens to be Brandon Ingram. He's the leading scorer on the team. He's averaging 21.4 points a game. Cleveland's in the second leg of a back-to-back. They're showing they don't give a shit about defense. They just want to outscore you. And I think that puts Ingram in a good position to go out there and fire. So play number 1 for us in the NBA going to be on some Brandon Ingram. And then the game I was looking at is the Utah Jazz. The Jazz. Probably because I can't believe the Hawks are still on the road. This feels like a 10-game road trip. It opened at -2. It's down to -1.5. So here's the thing. 70% of the bets and 65% of the cash have hit the Atlanta Hawks. Smacking them. And the line's not moving. That's a red flag. The Hawks just played. Second leg of the back-to-back. 234.5 dropped to 233 with 88% of the bets and 85% of the cash. On the over. And so, yeah. Jazz ain't doing it pretty, but they got rest, and they haven't had to travel. The Hawks, turns out it's only 2 road trips. This is their 3rd game in a row, but it's the second leg of a back-to-back. It's the 3rd game in 4 nights. These are all the fade signals that you're looking for when you're trying to figure out a team that's getting going to get their bell clocked here, I think size-wise, matchup-wise, Markkanen, Nurkic are two guys that you don't want to mess around with. Those boys can go FAFO, this Atlanta Hawks team here. And, the Jazz just beat the Pacers. So, no travel, coming off a win. The losses that they had before that, maybe a little masked because they played the Timberwolves in a cup game, and the Timberwolves throttled them. That was in Minnesota. We played Minnesota in that game. And the best team in the Eastern Conference in the Detroit Pistons with Cade Cunningham and company. Wasn't that the game that Cade Cunningham put up 43 or something like that? So, yeah, the Jazz stink, but this is a fade on the Hawks side of things here. To me, I took the Jazz in the first half. I got the money line. I got a plus 112 number on it. And my thought process being, I can't believe the Hawks are third game in 4 nights and now they're at elevation. And it's just too much change. Do they settle in the second half or do they completely gas out? Might be an opportunity to double chance the Jazz first half and full game, but I got the plus 1.5, and then I'll figure give me an opportunity to reconvene, recalibrate, and try to fire off maybe the second half of this thing. So I'm going to take that Utah Jazz. Let's see what you guys have to say. Jeff says it's been pulled. Action Jack says Wellmaker got a new opponent. Ethan Ewing. Who the fuck is Ethan Ewing? That the guy that called up? That guy was delivering the pizzas to the Apex today, and they were like, our Madison Square Garden. They're like, hey, dude, you look like you could fight. You ever been in a fight? Peter Grassi says Jets negative 46 point differential. New England plus 73. Booty is out. Booty is booty, man. Never mind. Hadn't pulled out. Jay Davis says he decided to bet the Pacers money line. Ramon Scott says Corey Hadden out. Malcolm Wellmaker will now fight Ethan Ewing. And Nasty Nate says Wellmaker smashes. David says, yeah, where are those NBA dogs at, Mikey? LOL, what I'm looking for. I got a couple more over at Winnable. Action Jack says the guy delivering the pizzas. Truth Teller says hello. I'm going to go with this Jazz team in the first half on the money line, and it gives us plenty of time. Oh, there it was. What the fuck was that? Well, I don't know what happened there. New graphics, user error. New graphics, user error. That's all I can suggest happened in this situation here. Make sure you guys do so if you haven't done so already. Give that thumbs up a smash. We'll talk some football, and we'll get this show on the road for a big Thursday night extravaganza. All righty then. Is the wrong team favored? Did I fuck this graphic up? Yes. Sorry. Day one. Bear with me. Cut me some slack. Bunch of jerks. It's my fault. I'll own it. I'll take responsibility. What do you want to hear? I'll tell it to you right now. Hang on. True Teller says, take the Jets and the points. Are we talking the Winnipeg? How about a Jets money line parlay? We might have a winner. Jets are 2-7. I kind of found it surprising. They're only 1-2 on the road. Played a lot of home games. This Jets team's going to have a tough second half of the year, and they fucked up last week, man. You trade everybody away, you acquire a bunch of draft picks, and then you go out and win? Ownership shitting all over field saying the problem is at quarterback, we can't complete a pass. And then they have to put this guy in. And the Patriots, Drake May is the second coming of Tom Brady. They're already like, Tom who? What? We got Drake May. Rumors are Tom Brady confirmed that he cloned his dog before it died because he's got part ownership of a, what are they called? Genetically, bunch of cloners. It's a cloning company. They clone shit. Cloned his dog. His new dog is the reincarnate of his old dog. Rumor is he might have cloned himself and then named it Drake May. I don't know. I'm just saying. Drake May's got 2,555 fucking yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions this year. Holy shit. I was wrong last week. I saw Breece Hall driving around that locker room in that little go-kart, and everyone was shitting on him, saying he doesn't work hard enough. And then he went out there and he fired. Screw you, I don't work hard enough. We're going to fire. And they did. Looking at this game, I mean, the number's blown way out of proportion, right? The look-ahead number was 5.5. It's 13. 58% of the bets, 59% of the cash are on the Patriots. Here's the problem. The Patriots should go out there and smash. Here's an interesting stat. How could this not cash? The number one team winning in the first half is the Patriots. The number one team losing in the first half, the Jets. How can you not just automatically pay the Patriots in the first half? Lay the 7. Problem is, I think it's only one time this season the Patriots scored won the first half by over 7 points. And now you got 7.5, so you got the hooker. Sways me a little bit to the Jets. Just saying. She can't make that up. Now, digesting and digging deeper. Jets suck. We know that. And we know this, man. The thing that got me a little confused here, when I told you there were some stats that blew my mind. The New England Patriots DVOA dropped. It's minus 1.5%. Even though they won over Tampa Bay. They were a 2.5-point road dog with players out. They still ended up winning. And they're only the second team ever to be 8-2 with a negative DVOA and defense. The other was the Vikings in 2022. I'm not sure exactly what happened historically to the Vikings in 2022, but I know that's not a good spot you want to be. Problem I have is the Jets are 0-7 in the dog roll with less than 6 days of rest. So the short turnaround could be a factor. They're allowing 36.3 points a game in those 7 games that they're getting busted up. The over is a perfect 7-0. It's a primetime game. What do? How do you play it? I still can't believe the New England Patriots are number 1 in the division. I'm going to take the team total over for the Patriots. I don't love it. I'm not laying 7.5 for a team that can't win by 7 in the first half. I'm not laying 13 on a Thursday night game. There's a whole bunch of shit I'm not doing. I don't want to bet the Jets. I'm going to probably regret not taking them on the money line and then come back in here tomorrow and be like, damn, why did I take that plus 625? But it's, New England weather. 38 degrees, mild wind, no precipitation in the forecast. So there shouldn't be anything that gets in the way of the offense other than the offense. And do you want Justin Fields to be the guy that you have to depend on to throw the ball? What's a Justin Fields first touchdown scorer pay? 20-1. I'm going to take the New England Patriots team total over 27.5. I'm going to give you guys some player props, some live bets as well when we kick off the live show tonight, Thursday Night Football. The live crew is back. Our friend is still on vacation, but we're going to man the ship for him while he's gone and do our best to hold down 2 streams here. But you'll find us at Sports Money, 7:45 p.m. Good luck with all your action this evening. Leave a comment afterwards. Tell me what you're betting. Tell me if you're fading me. Tell me if you're tailing me. Tell me if we cashed. I love to see them afterwards. I tailed this play and it cashed. Thanks for the play. Love all that stuff, you guys. Make sure you tune in here at 7:45.